We've got a very interesting lineup. It is myself, I am Riggs. We've got Dave Portnoy and Kirk Minihane. Interesting lineup, to say the least.
Yeah, I feel like we were sitting over there at our table. We had nachos, which Kirk already complained that he didn't get, but I said
not a complaint.
I
You
said bring them over.
I don't want.
They're coming.
I don't want this. First of all, I cannot. I can't hear myself. You guys can hear me.
I can hear you loud and clear.
I can hear you fine.
You did, Riggs. Did he offer nachos to us?
It was very obviously acceptable.
I mean, a nacho.
It was like a
communal. Like, hey, have the nachos. They're there. If you want nacho, you take.
Right. It's not a common thing for somebody to order a personal set of nachos. Nobody does that.
But go ahead.
So, anyways, I was sitting over there, and who knows what to expect because, it's such a wild card, Kirk. Nobody ever knows what you're going to get. I don't know if you're going to come in here like guns blazing. You and Riggs, last time you talked, you were calling each other. And you never know on these live shows because there's people, but I'll try to tone it down. You guys are calling each other pussies and shit.
Right.
So this is the first time you had that. Nobody knows, Kirk, whether you really like them or hate them. Mm-hmm. You've brought your cronies here, maybe you not, but like Blind Mike's here.
Sure.
I guess, is Steve Robinson here?
Steve Robinson is here. Milton's paid the way for Steve Robinson.
Yeah, so like people asked at our company who I like, they're like, hey, can we come to Miami? The answer is no.
Okay.
So, but you brought two people with you. So, the only thing I'm concerned about.
I don't even know what you're rambling about.
No, I'm going to tell you, the only thing I'm concerned about this week in Miami is Kirk Minihane and company.
Is that really true?
Yes.
You're concerned about me?
Kirk Minihane and company.
Okay, if company wasn't here, would you be concerned?
Far less.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Huh. Well,
I don't like or trust Blind Mike.
Sure, you've made that very clear. Yeah.
So the first thing I said to you today when I saw you was I want all Blind Mike stunts approved before he does them.
Sure.
He's 0 for 1. He asked me to do. He said he was planning on going to a drag bar tonight and pretending he thought it was media day.
Well, because you told him he couldn't try and get in the media night.
I would not have wanted him to do that. I didn't even know. I don't think I actually said that.
That was my understanding, but okay.
That's a correct understanding. I would not want him to do that either.
Okay.
So he's going to go to a drag bar. So I just feel like throughout the week, who knows what could happen.
Well, I mean, I think we have a pretty good communication.
You and I.
Stuff. Yeah.
For the most part, yes.
So he's going to try some things. If you say no, you say no. We're here to try and do stuff. I'm not going to do my podcast like I did this morning for 3 hours, then sit around with my hand on my ass for 6 hours. I want to do stuff. You saw me today. I was hustling around.
Well, you were lost.
I was lost. I was lost.
We bumped into Kirk maybe 50 yards away from where we are right now. Now, to set the stage, our hotel, which we have, you can see, literally, I can see it from our set, is very close. Mm-hmm. The bar is maybe, a weird haircut Seth football throw to it. We saw Kirk maybe 100 yards from here.
I think that's generous.
And totally lost.
I mean, it's not possible. I said to KFC, it was like when Brooks got out of Shawshank and the world had changed. I was like, look at these cars going by. Look at the sky.
The first time that I'd seen Kirk since everything last time we talked on the show was last night in the hallway at the hotel, and he couldn't find his hotel room.
In the hotel?
Yes, yeah. I'm aging. I'm like your dad, essentially. At
that
point.
Is not what you want to hear.
No.
So, but now to your point, when you're doing stuff here, like what do you do when you're not here? What are you doing the days in Boston?
Stuff. Just show stuff, looking up stuff, reading stuff, paying attention.
So you could do all that here, correct?
I am doing all that here. Yeah,
right.
But I do feel an extra obligation being down here.
Why?
I don't know. I just feel like I have some initiative. Do you want me to have less initiative?
The same initiative. Like we brought you down here. I think you're a very talented radio guy.
Thank you, Dave.
So we brought you down here. We're going to have a big crowd as the week progresses.
Sure.
To do radio. So now the main thing that we always go back, it's the blind. I trust you, and you're a crazy person, literally, more than I trust Blind Mike.
Okay.
Like, I don't think Blind Mike has a sense of tact, so I just need to know what he's doing. That's it. If we're on the same page, we're good.
But, do you want people who have tact in this company, only?
Yeah, for what Blind Mike is doing, yes.
Okay.
Like, here's the reason. Do you want to know?
What I'm saying, though?
Do you know why I said no to what he was doing tonight?
Yes.
Okay. Do you agree with it?
We talked about it before.
Yeah, right.
Hey, I think you're thinking too much about it.
Oh, see, I don't think so.
But to be fair, in my defense, we had this conversation over the Albright stuff, right?
Yes.
And you said to me, I have a good nose for this. And I think you do, but I said on this one,
you're
wrong.
On that
and you were wrong on that
Correct.
one. So I think you're overrating somebody like Blind Mike, who is literally the least important person in Miami right now. Not at Barstool, in Miami, maybe Florida. I mean, it's not possible to be less important than he is.
He's the least important human
on the planet.
maybe I've ever met, which is what creates the issue because when he gets in trouble, if he continues with stuff like that, it's Barstool that's attached. So that's my problem.
Well, this is the fight we had last time. I mean,
it's like when you have
relitigate this.
The least important human, not only at Barstool, in the world, who creates bigger issues for Barstool.
Well, your company hired this guy.
I got to be honest.
Well, that's
you hired him.
No. This is your company.
No, you hired him.
This is your company.
Yeah, but I thought you were at first paying out of your own pocket, which is like, okay, I never knew.
Well, some of it is out of
we
my pocket.
didn't know that, like, Erica greenlighted him. And to be fine, I would have been okay with it until he started opening his yap. And then
that's what we're really getting at.
It's the thing, the Carabas thing at MGM, where he went, did that stunt.
No problem with that.
Right, but my point being, if for those who don't know, he did, and it wasn't funny what he did, just screaming from the back. That's what I mean. He's not funny.
Right.
Like, nothing he does is funny or original. Like, just sitting there and screaming from the back. Not funny, Blind Mike, at the Red Sox, gets dragged out.
He's no Jim Florentine, for sure.
I think he is funny. Jared Carabas.
You don't like him either, huh?
No, I don't.
Jared Carabas then walks into MGM, and the security is like, Barstool Sports is banned from MGM. Why? Because
but that didn't happen though.
He had to call and get. It doesn't.
But then
matter.
he went in.
But Mike,
if he had been banned for life, Dave, if he had been banned for life from MGM, Carabas, I would have laughed at that. But if that had happened, I would have said that's a conversation. But it didn't happen.
But listen, the path that I'm trying to prevent as a leader of men, which is what I am,
and women, yeah,
and women. Thank you.
Sure.
All humans.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get to the explosion. I'm trying to stop. If I just don't do anything, be like, turn, let Blind Mike do whatever he wants. Eventually, I'm telling you, there's going to be an explosion that is going to have damages that we can't control. I'm trying to prevent that.
I think you like the fact that you don't know what I'm going to do. I think you like that. I do. I think you like that. I think you like that.
I don't. I think you're talented.
I know you've said that. I don't need that. Pat, I'm aware of my talent.
Well, I'm not saying it to pat you on
You're
the back.
a talented guy.
I know I am. Look at this. We have our own hotel. You don't get your own hotel.
Absolutely.
In this big set by not being
the hotel is
talented.
fantastic.
Thank
I
you.
found my room was great.
Yeah. So it's just I'm trying to be, and it's not just against Blind Mike. It's and I always use this example. If Mantis was running around doing things that I thought, well, he's a deformed guy that we have working.
Oh, yes, I know him. I like him.
First segment shot at Mantis already. First segment.
I like him.
I mean, it's not a shot if it's the truth.
I like him, yeah. I know him.
He'd be perfect for you. He'd better off with you.
Than who?
Barstool.
Okay, well, just bring him by. We'll use him.
I don't want to create that combo. But the point is just staying ahead of it, and it's not the juice is never worth the squeeze.
You and I have communicated pretty well, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
I think people thought that you and I weren't going to last 3 months. That's what everybody said. Oh, you're going to fight. No, I think we have conversations. We disagree, and then whatever.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
No, I think as good as we could have hoped.
Yeah, I mean, if you could do it over, would you have not brought me in?
At times, I've wondered about that.
Thank you. That's nice to have your.
At times, I've wondered about it. At times, I've wondered about it because, again, it's.
We have a very nice audience. People enjoy the podcast.
Your podcast is doing great.
Thank you. That's okay.
Your podcast is doing great. It's got good numbers. It's growing. Your fans are psychos. Sometimes
which is good, right?
And what about? All right, that's the other thing. I forgot about this. The guy sends shirts he wants to make for the Super Bowl with my dead dog on it.
Who's the guy?
You.
Not me.
Who sent it?
My operation, my team.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the
that
team
counts
is you.
as you. My dog, which I love, and my ex-wife, who I'm still very close with, she saw on this set people wearing dead Stella. Look how much I love my dog. She's in this thing with the halo on it, Stella.
Right.
They had, like Stella the beer, dead Stella shirts with Stella's face on it.
Because we know it triggers you. It's funny. It amuses me.
Of course
it's
it
a friggin' dog.
Me.
It amuses me.
But
the dog was like 90 years old.
16.
Move on. That's like
I'm not moving on. I love the dog.
For
you to think you're going to get those shirts.
If you came with a shirt with my dad's picture on, I would laugh.
But it doesn't trigger you. A dead dog to me, it means a lot. It's a dead person.
Okay,
there's no one else at this company.
Suck it up.
There's no one else at this company who, for anything, I think, would intentionally go after something like just be. Oh, it triggers them.
Right.
Nobody would do that. You would.
I would.
Right.
Yes.
And I'll put it down. And I don't know.
You mean like you put the dog down?
No. But if you walked in with the shirts, I would have put. And you may do it at some point. Like, nothing you do surprised me. If you walked in with the shirts of Blind Mike, who, by the way, I fully expect to try to do some sort of stunt here at some point during the week.
God forbid a Barstool guy tries to do a stunt.
To us.
What do you mean here? Like what? Like
on radio. He's going to come up and probably yell something stupid wearing the shirt.
I don't think
and
so.
He will be on the first plane out of here. That's a guarantee. But the stuff like that.
That's fine. Those are the rules.
Those are the rules.
But during this process, when have I said after we disagree, if we disagree on something, I say, well, all right, I work here.
But
I work here.
Listen, I know you and your little crew a little bit better than you think. That you're just going to go. You guys will just. Oh, well, this wasn't said. I know what.
Well, that's true.
I know.
That's true.
Trust me.
That's your fault, though.
George Costanza. Oh, I couldn't have sex with that woman. Well, you didn't make that very
that's
clear.
That's what I'm saying. Well,
that is, and I know. So I'm on edge. I'm waiting. I don't know where it is.
So the Kirk Minihane show has put Dave Portnoy on edge.
Yes.
Okay, I like hearing that.
Yes.
Thank you.
But that is, and I know for you that's good.
But it's in like we like each other.
You and I?
Yeah.
I think so.
Oh, really? What?
I truly don't like Blind Mike. I don't think.
You made that clear, Dave.
I think
we're
Blind Mike.
there. We've
I
arrived.
think Blind Mike would do anything to raise his profile, even on a meter of raising a profile, an inch at the expense of like major damage for Barstool.
You made that clear.
I honestly believe that.
Okay, I don't agree with that, but you may be proven right.
So that exactly.
Well, I'm not saying that. I would. If you ask me, do I have knowledge of anything? You asked me that this morning.
Yeah.
First, you came at me about Kobe Bryant, and like, what the fuck?
Well, I didn't want to be Ari Schaefer. Have you seen what he's been?
Yeah, but I wouldn't tweet that. If you think I'm going to tweet that, like, don't hire me. I've never tweeted anything close to that in my life. We'll get to it later, I'm sure.
Yeah, we will.
I'm not the host of the program.
That was so. I mean, Blind Mike.
He wouldn't.
Well, do you see what he was retweeting?
But retweeting is okay to me. You can retweet stuff.
Well,
I mean, that woman from the Washington Post retweeted that story. They suspended her. That's nuts.
Well, that's not why she got suspended.
Was it because of the emails?
It was.
Because they made it public? I thought that might be.
No, it was doxing. Yeah, doxing.
Yeah, there were names on
there. Yeah, the doxing.
But you would agree if they suspended her for the other thing, it'd be crazy.
You can't. Well, that's freedom of speech. Yeah,
but
you can't do that.
What do you mean?
You can't suspend somebody for freedom of speech.
I think you probably can. I mean, it's a private company.
Well, no.
No?
I don't know, actually.
I think they could. They could definitely.
Yeah,
maybe they would.
So.
But it would be a bad look. I think that them suspending her for doxing and the other stuff is fine.
That's legitimate.
But it is hypothetically, using that example, let's say, and this is where we have the conversation, I'm sure we'll have it to a degree all week.
Feels like it.
It does feel like it.
I mean, I don't know.
Let's say
neither one of us are going to change.
But here's a question for you, and you may answer it differently, which is fair. If you're in my shoes, you'd answer it differently than if you're in your shoes. But if Blind Mike made the Ari Schaefer video saying like "fuck Kobe," blah blah, all the shit, that will be reported as Barstool Sports says.
That to me is a legitimate point. So if something like that happens in a perfect world, I like to think I'd protect my guy, freedom of speech. I don't own a business. I'm not in charge of a business, so it's easy for me to play that card, right? And I've said that with Mike even differently because essentially in a lot of ways I have a huge stake in my show. You know, I have a slice of the revenue. I do a lot of the sales stuff. So I say that, if he did something like that, then it's a different conversation. I don't disagree with that. But in the perfect world, I'd like to say, you said it, let's have a conversation about it. But I know
I agree.
I know it's 2020, and it doesn't always work.
So that in a nutshell would be my fear. Like he does it and then it's too late. And people look for reasons to get us. So it's like, let's take somebody, Blind Mike being the example, it wouldn't always be him, but low on the totem who just spoke for the entire company and put us in a position that we don't want to be.
But I guess my point is, we talked about this last time. So the news cycle happens and they shit all over us. What's the real damage when you're done with everything?
It can vary time to time. I mean, there's jokes I've made in the past that we still deal with advertisers today.
Like the Ponder stuff?
Ponder stuff for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that was 4 years before he lost the show, all that stuff. So if we can like that's something that's predictable to me. Like the Kobe thing is like you can't do that. Whatever your opinion is, if you want to speak for yourself, but you can't disassociate it. It's easy to be like, that's me. I can say what I want. Great, but that's not the world we live in.
But he went all in, though. I mean, that fucking tweet was like.
Did you see his video?
Yes, yeah. That to me is that's a different level. I don't think Mike would do something like that. But but you do.
Correct, and that is that's where the discrepancy.
Do you have sleepless nights over this?
No, I don't have sleepless nights.
But you think about it.
I do think about it.
You ponder it.
I ponder it.
Okay.
Well played.
I actually didn't mean that.
Don't give him credit. Come on.
I'll take it. Yeah.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
So let's pretend that I listened to the Kirk Minihane show, and I heard that you called me a pussy. Why do you think I'm such a pussy?
Well, I can tell you why.
Okay.
So pretty simple. So we had the segment with me, you, and Dave, right? And
Correct.
Mike, which was a scream fest. I thought it was terrible. Dave fucking screamed. He hosted. So congratulations. You screamed louder.
Let's just revisit.
We're going to relive the game. We're going to relive the game.
Because I think it's important to revisit that because it's very similar in terms of who says what to what we're talking about right now.
What do you mean?
In terms of like where the buck stops and who makes the final decisions, which is Dave, and who has to actually deal with those ramifications, which is Dave.
Of what?
Of like the company and why certain decisions are made.
Okay, so there's I think, and I'll give you the backstory with this with me and you.
Okay.
I think not that you care that it matters. I think was supportive of your podcast a lot.
Definitely.
Always retweeted it. Said when you guys did a great job. Played sound of it. Would actually reach out to you personally when I thought it was a good one.
I was on the Kirk Minihane show one
time. You were on
time.
the Kirk Minihane show.
Really fun.
I was on
Foreplay.
I was on Foreplay.
Thank you.
And that, had a good time. So going into that break, going into when we were on the air, Dave, we could hear you guys talking, and Dave's like, I brought Kirk on because I just think, I could fire both of them. And you and Tommy just like kind of laughed, and I'm like, I'm like, these are like, this is my job, this is my life, and you're just treating it like it's nothing. And I was like, well, fuck off.
What was actually said was Dave was like, hey, how do you think this is going to go? And we all guessed. And
I
Dave
actually
said,
had no idea prior because you were on.
You did say that.
I
think let's bring Kirk Minihane on the fire. I'm like, well, I mean,
but that's not what happened. What happened was Dave.
That's exactly what happened.
No, it's not. Dave
Dave
presented it to us very clearly as like, how do you guys think this is going to go? We all guessed. I did not say anything you're going to get fired.
No, I didn't.
He said I wouldn't be surprised if it ended with them getting fired, and we all were like,
I didn't say you said he was going to get fired. He said it, and you guys were both kind of like, oh, yeah, whatever.
Well,
and that was the exact reaction.
What I thought.
We were like, oh, my God, wow.
Let's back up just to clarify. Because
see, the difference is, sorry, Dave, the difference is, like, I liked you, and if Dave, I would have been like, why? He's a good guy. He does a good podcast.
We're about to hash it out on radio. Why would I have to off radio defend you? Let's see how this goes.
You didn't do it on the radio either.
But on the radio, what's happening now is where you're like, well, you're a pussy because you didn't defend X, Y, or Z. What happened was you had just sewered Mike and given him misinformation that led him to be calling him a pussy. And then once you're on the air with Dave, you didn't have you weren't standing up to Dave at that point.
According to him, yeah, I did. I argued with him. According to him,
but you agreed with Dave. You're like, yeah, that is what you told me. And then Blind Mike
again. We're in this like semantical reimagination.
But that's what you do. You do like a 3-hour podcast about semantics and why that makes X, Y, or Z a pussy, which is all Barstool people every time, and it's pathetic. So we're gonna stand up for ourselves.
So you don't think I call other people out?
I know that you do all the time. That's why I don't respond to it. A lot of Barstool people. But you pick every Barstool person. It's either K. Marco this week, last week, it's then Kevin, then it's Fights, then it's Hank, then it's me. It's somebody every time.
What was the original? I know we had a conversation.
It was about the
blog.
Right. What blog did he write about?
About the woman who he was going to write
the Trenny thing.
Yes.
Got it. All right. Right. So I did think because we had, and this is the only thing that does frustrate me at times with you is we had what I would say is a very civil, small. It to me it was a non-issue, right? When we nobody was taking some hard line in the sand. We explained it. You may not agree, but you're like, okay, fine. But then I get all the Minifans sending me clips of, Blind Mike cannot dare me to fire him.
Well, so you didn't get clips of Kirk Minihane saying that. So your issue was with Mike.
Correct.
So you think I led Mike down a trail?
I thought you put him in a. I thought you made it.
But by the way, you didn't listen to the show.
No, I just got clips sent.
Right. So you don't know.
Well,
that's fine.
I know very much. If Dave Portnoy doesn't like me, he should fire me, suck my dick type.
That's different. That's different. What I'm saying is,
that's all.
You guys suggested I played some mind game with Blind Mike to lead him into that. I would never do something like that.
Yeah, right. But with that face on. And the reason I had you on was I was going to let Mike say, "Do you want me to fire you?" Which I did. And then if he said yes, fire me. Knowing you and how you're loyal to your guys,
I would quit.
So that's why you had to be on with him.
And that's exactly what Dave said to us during the break that we were like responding to.
Right. And then
I didn't think Blind Mike would back down.
Then I said there's a joke that Riggs texts me all the time saying Dave's a pussy.
I did think that was a joke.
Right. That's obviously a joke, Riggs. That's a joke.
But in the moment you had just sewered one of your guy, then everybody's screaming at the top of their lungs.
Did you think for a second that was real?
That was a joke. I knew that was.
That was obviously a joke.
But to me, in that moment, rather than risk being like sewered by you, I thought I'd make it very clear I'm not texting, calling Dave a pussy behind his back.
So you pussied out.
I in that moment just.
Well, then there we go. We're done. Thank you.
But that's not a pussy.
You can see that. You just said
the time.
You just said he was. He said in that moment he was
legitimate. Like
you were. That's all we're doing.
For all I knew, you were sewering me.
Apology accepted.
For all I knew, you were sewering me.
There was no win there. I don't even know what you just claimed to win.
A mild apology.
So, anyways,
for all I knew, you were sewering me, and
this show's going to be awesome for the entire week.
Well, this is sewering me. I don't even understand.
You know what sewering
Trashing.
is?
Come on, you're not that old.
You see me wander around Miami?
You are old.
But I don't. But my thing. This is why I always run into trouble. Is I take loyalty way too far. Like I legitimately, like, the Riggs does a good job, and I thought his podcast is good. Like if that had happened in that moment, I would have been like, "You're gonna fire this fucking guy?" And I was sort of like, "What are you talking about? This guy's good. He's valuable. He's important."
But
do you understand? Do you understand my perspective?
But what I'm there's a big but let me hold on. Let me just respond to that.
Good.
There is a semantical difference between Dave saying I'm going to fire them and Dave being like, I think this might go down a road where I have no choice but to fire them.
No, it's not that different. Because
it's not. Because him saying like I think Blind Mike is going to stand by what he said and then Kirk's going to bail out and I'm going to be forced to fire them is different than like
exactly what I
don't care about them. I'm going to fire them. So we weren't responding to like Dave being like, I'm going to ruin your life.
Correct. Well, I thought it would end with Blind Mike not backing down and then you defending him and then you both be gone. That's how I thought it would go. So I was happy that Blind Mike.
You're happy Blind Mike's here.
Well, no. I was happy that Blind Mike was willing to kiss my feet, which I gallantly said I want no part of that. And it didn't go down that way, but I thought it was.
See, I think there's this little New York crew in my mind that gets mad when I call them sensitive.
You mean
they bitch to each other, the Riggs, K. Marco, sort of.
I don't think it's necessarily
We don't.
I think there's like almost like a mailing list.
I think there is a part, though, of what you definitely do.
Now keep in mind, I'm conspiratorial.
You have private conversations that you then use for content and make Barstool people look bad when that's
hold on,
Mike look bad.
Well, hold on. I actually don't agree with that.
Well, I do.
Like when?
Like the one that you and I had that led to the Blind Mike.
Well, I assume when you and I talk that you know I'm going to talk about the show.
I certainly know that.
And there have been times you said you can't talk about X and X. Have I talked about it? Have I talked about that stuff?
On your show?
Yes. Well, not that you would have any idea.
No.
But you would know about it. Yeah. So there are things you say, hey, listen, this is, and so, I mean, that's different. Yeah. But if you say to me, hey, like Blind Mike's an idiot, well, I'm going to tell him you think he's an idiot.
But I didn't say he was an idiot.
But I'm saying as an example.
Like he thought for that particular thing, I didn't really single out. Like I actually the blog was written like good. Like I thought it was a fair blog. It's just it's not him who I want doing it. I said that in the call. It had nothing to do against. Now, do I think he's dumb and do I not trust him? And if I liked him and thought he was worthy of a job, would he have come with me to New York?
Can I guess?
Absolutely.
I'm going to say I'm going to say you're a fan.
Right. All right. Maybe we should do a break. Great first segment. These people at Tequila Chicas are just trying to have some nachos and cerveza.
And they're like, these people are on the same team? I can't believe it.
Well, that's it.
Is it going to be 10 hours of this?
We've never been in a situation at Barstool, I think, where the same team is very much feels like a lot of times not the same team. And not you and I.
Well, hold on. Like, because of me?
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit. I mean, because of my little podcast in Watertown, Massachusetts?
Well, you go around, as Riggs would say, one of the most
labor-friendly
Did you see what I did with Jerry Callahan?
With Thornton?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Why? That was
because I like Jerry.
Listen,
you can't win.
For those who don't know this, so Jerry, who I like Jerry.
I know, but that was my issue with it. Go ahead.
So Jerry Callahan,
started
his old podcast, his old radio show host, and somebody I've known for a long time and started his own podcast, and he asked if Jerry asked me, he's like, can I go on his podcast and talk about the Patriots? I said no. I didn't give the reason. I told Jerry no. I'm like, no, it's a podcast. I feel like it's very competitive to.
It's really not, though.
That's fine, but it was out of.
I went on it.
I didn't know that.
I mean, but you want to know my issue with it, though? And it's fine. Like, I appreciate you did that with my show in mind. I do appreciate that. But my thing was, I said to Callahan, I was like, Jerry, I thought was pretty loyal to you during the whole when you got kicked off EEI. Like, Callahan defended you on the air. He reached out to you. Like, I think that, he
didn't really defend me on the air, but he did.
Oh, he did. No, he did. He did. I remember he did. But I would say, like, you can.
I like Jerry.
You're
in
charge.
Loyal.
Like, if he goes on with Thornton, I personally have no issue with it.
Right.
So if you want to, that's great.
But to me, and why, and again, this is a leader of men, and why you may appreciate me now on 10 different levels. And I don't want to ask you, because if you didn't, it puts you in a situation I wouldn't want to be in if I were you. Be like, no, it's competitive.
Oh, I don't mind talking about that, though. That's fine. I don't mind that.
So that's why it's better off, you know what? If he has a problem with it, it's me. As opposed to you, who you have a better relation.
It's amazing. There's so much going on. It's incredible to watch this.
This is how you build an empire.
I appreciate this.
Every perspective.
20 different levels.
Right. So I got so many of these things going on.
It's
and
weird.
then I got a blind guy wandering around Miami that is taking, if he even takes 0.1% of my brain power, he's setting everybody back. We're going to be staying in that hostel across the street.
Okay. We don't want that. Okay. We got 9.5 more hours of this, so stay tuned. Very exciting.
So am I.